So this is going to be a kind of unscripted follow-up to my previous video on the other channel, which is YouTube is lying about video resolutions. But why? So I'm going to assume that you've already watched this if you're watching this, or watched the other one if you're watching this, right? So yeah, I haven't really finished an actual video until I did this in like 8 or 9 months. Well, I guess I would count the bug reports. So that's like maybe like 6 or 7 or something like that. But I hadn't really been on the old DaVinci Resolve editing grind in a while. But yeah, this was something that was kind of bothering me for a while, but I never really looked into. Like, why the hell are the resolution options wrong, right? But yeah, I eventually just got around to checking the info about it and figuring out what was going on and trying to understand why it might be the case, because, as I said, I don't think it's a bug. But yeah, the video, I basically wrote the script in like a couple hours. I just kind of just started typing and then I finished it. And then I was just like, yep, this is good enough. And then like I kind of edited it later as I was like finishing up other stuff. I am probably not the best writer, but I figured this would be kind of a easy to finish project, you know? And I was right in that it was an easy to finish project, but I was wrong at the same time, right? So I've noticed that with these explainer type videos, you're kind of just shifting the effort away from writing and towards editing, right? Because you need to be able to explain things with visuals and ensure that everything's lining up with what you're saying. And speaking of explainer videos, that's kind of been like all 3 videos on that channel now have just been like explaining something with varying degrees of, I guess, narrative, you could say. Where like the first one with the magic story was like basically entirely a narrative, like from start to finish of the thing. Then the NASCAR video was basically just a big info dump. And this one is kind of, I guess, a sort of almost a narrative of like through the information in a way. It's a bit more I guess like thought out in terms of the, well, I didn't even think about it that hard. It was more just like the information comes at you in a specific order that makes sense for like, not even, I don't know, it's not really, it's an explainer, but it does have like a little bit of the kind of narrative of understanding, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna stop talking about that because I clearly don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, I spent like 6 days with DaVinci Resolve open like all day, every day. Just relearning some stuff, learning some new stuff. A lot of the like kind of like graphics with the frames and things, had to like figure out how to get those working and move them around correctly. Basically, there, like anything you see in a YouTube video that is moving, is just, it takes hours of work just to edit minutes of video, right? Just because you have to get everything moving in the correct way and have all the information on screen properly. And like, this wasn't really animation, so it was a lot, well, it was kind of animation. It was like kind of a very, very simple animation things going on at some points. Like actual animation, I believe, takes longer, and this probably took me longer because I'm less experienced with it. But yeah, I'm not sure. I told myself after the NASCAR video that like I don't want to do any more of these explainer things, right? Because I didn't really see much in just like, okay, here's the thing, I'm going to explain it, right? the reason why I wanted to do this, I guess, is because it was new information, you know? Like, it wasn't just, okay, here's something that happened and I'm going to tell you about it, right? It, like, this is something that people actually don't know about, and I wasn't able to find any information about it online. And, you know, I'm sure some people already knew everything in the video because they already worked on video for the web or something, but that information, at the very least, wasn't really public, and I stand by my statement that it's stupid and it doesn't make sense. Like, it's really dumb that if I want to pick a resolution, I have to pick the resolution one higher in order to get the resolution that I want. And like, that would be fine if they just put the actual resolution number in the options, right? So that's, like, the video starts off with like, oh my god, YouTube is lying to you, but really, like, it just comes down to they should add the damn number to the settings lists, right? Yeah, and as I'm sitting here, and hopefully this will change in the future by the time, I guess some amount of people are watching this video, but the YouTube is lying video has 188 views, and the wall ride video has, the NASCAR wall ride video has, hold on. Yeah, 462. So nobody's fucking watched these, right? And the Magic the Gathering video had 148,000 views by comparison. And I kind of expected that these wouldn't get as many just because, or like it wasn't guaranteed, right? Because like I didn't like get an audience just from uploading one Magic the Gathering video, but it seems like, at least what I suspect has happened, is these videos were recommended to like a kind of sample audience of people on YouTube, and that sample audience was mostly the people who had watched the previous video. And the people who watched the previous video don't want to watch these because they're just only want to watch Magic the Gathering things, I guess. So then YouTube didn't bother to like go beyond that, and so it kind of got stuck in like a local minimum, is what I'm thinking, or a local maximum, however you want to call it. I don't know what the correct term is in this case, but that's what I think happened. And if that's correct, then I would expect at some point in the future, for the videos to get at least some amount more views, right? Like, you could, even if these videos aren't that great, which I think they're all right, 188 views is comically low. Like, it's insane how low that number is, right? I think anybody can admit that. Like, if this video was uploaded to any other channel that has like any kind of audience that would remotely be interested in it, like if this was just like fucking uploaded half as interesting or something, tons of people would watch it, right? So like, people talk about how the YouTube algorithm is like, oh, don't blame the algorithm, I mean, they're just clown. And it's like, yeah, most of the people who are just like, oh my god, the damn algorithm, it's ruining everything. They are wrong in that the way the algorithm works is essentially mostly based on the people who are watching the videos, right? But we shouldn't trick ourselves into taking from that YouTube is just a perfect meritocracy, right? Because that's obviously not the case. And you don't have to just look at my own video with 188 views to find that. I expect this will correct itself at some point. If it doesn't, then maybe it is just garbage and nobody wants to watch it, right? But we'll see. So yeah, like, that kind of thinking, you can definitely get stuck in like just refusing to acknowledge that the platform could be made better, right? Like, just because some people have stupid complaints doesn't mean that you can't make the platform better, and the way that the YouTube is optimizing, the metrics that they're optimizing for may not be the best ones for the actual user experience or experience of people uploading videos, right? But that's another topic for another time, I would say. But yeah, basically all the footage in the resolutions video is my own, except for the 4x3 footage. That was from a channel called Jam2Go, which you should go watch that video, by the way. It's called, what is it called? It's like geolocating songs. Fucking amazing video. Go watch it. So yeah, like all of the Trackmania footage in there was just my own maps. So that was kind of nice, I guess. It's kind of a... Most YouTube videos are heavily using other people's footage in order to create the video, including my own. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but I do think there's something interesting about being able to have almost everything in the video be something that you made, except for like the music, an icon, and like one video clip, right? It's a much higher percentage of it that is created by me, you know? And I think that's neat, even if it doesn't really matter. And I wouldn't expect it to matter for anybody else. But yeah. And don't expect future videos to be like that, of course. But yeah, the next things that I'm doing probably won't be more explainer things. Like, I've got the next thing that will probably be finished is a kind of attempt at a... It's kind of a Vsauce inspired Trackmania video is the easiest way to explain it, I think. It's not really like... I'm not able to do the kind of funny wordplay things that Vsauce always does, and I'm not going to do like the head waving up into the camera frame, right? Because I'm not using actual footage of myself, right? But what I mean by this is it's kind of just like having like a huge range of mildly interesting things centered around being tangentially related to a given topic, right? And if you haven't seen Vsauce, Google or search on YouTube The Speed of Dark and watch that video. Just for yourself. Go watch Vsauce if you haven't. It's a great channel. But yeah, like it's not really a Vsauce video in like the way, like I'm not mimicking it, I'm not trying to exactly mimic the style. But it has the kind of just like, the video isn't about one thing, right? It's kind of a bunch of small things that I think are interesting and I wanted to talk about. And, you know, maybe it's going to be dumb, but I'm hoping it'll be pretty cool. And speaking of Trackmania and videos, it's weird because the thing about Trackmania is there isn't a ton to say about it. At least, like, you have the like surface level things that like you'll see in like a virtual video or whatever, and then you have like basically nothing between there and just like weird esoteric things that the only people who are going to care about are people who already know the game. And then like at that point it's like hard to even tell if anybody else finds that interesting, because I've just been exposed to so much Trackmania information over the last few years that I don't even know what is and isn't interesting about the game anymore, right? Like, I've just become completely lost in probably knowing more about the game than probably not that many people probably know more. I'm sure there's like a number of them, but I've spent a lot of time around mapping especially, so it's really hard to tell. Like, I've just become numb to it all, right? Like, I can repeat myself like a broken record on stream or in like unscripted videos like this and tell you about like random crap, but I don't even know which of it is interesting to anybody, including myself, right? It just kind of exists there, if that makes any sense. So sorry, I think I pounded my hand on the table a bit. So yeah, I have other things that I'm gonna work on that are maybe Trackmania related, but as I was saying, I remember where I was going with this. It's unfortunate because it's hard to tell if there's really anything there to talk about, but, and here's the important thing, the media tracker is fucking great, right? For making videos. You have an entire like replay editor, and you can build things specifically for the video in the editor, the map editor, I mean. So like you can make such nice background footage that reflects what you're talking about perfectly and is really cool, and you can make sick montages and things, right? But it just feels like it never gets used because there's nothing interesting that anybody has to say about the game beyond just like, oh, here's a world record progression. So yeah. And by the way, speaking of world record progression, if you're at the end of this video, and you know of a nice like run or something that you have information on, like you know about the entire history of the run, and it's like it would make for a fairly short progression, let me know, because I want to do a world record regression. And by that I mean I want to start with the world record and the current world record, and then just go backwards with progressively worse runs. So it's the world record regression, because I think that idea was from Ryder. I think it's inherently funny, so I want to do it, but I don't really know of anything that would really fit the format and has easily accessible information, right? I wanted to do it on Jet Car Stunts, which was an old mobile game, if you haven't heard of it. It's basically like a kind of... Imagine if Trackmania had a sky environment, and the physics were awful, and everything was just like huge polygons, and it was on mobile, and you used motion controls on your fucking iPhone 3, and like you had like insane air control, and you could like have like a rocket booster for every that refills every check. It was fun at the time. It's not a good game, I don't think. I haven't played it in a long time, but I don't think it's good. It is kind of funny. Like, if you should look it up. I believe the best thing to look up for that would be what's his name? God damn it, I can't remember his name. I can find it quickly, actually. It would be Offen. Go to Offen's channel, OFFAN, and find like the 40-minute thing that is like all of the like a full run, and just skim through that and see what's going on there. And then that's Jet Car Stunts. Unfortunately, like many of the abandoned projects that me and Nix have had at this point, it's kind of a lost media project at this point, right? Because when the mobile game got taken, like it lost its, like it had online records actually. Like it had online records long before Trackmania, which is pretty funny, right? But hold on, something weird happened. Yeah, so they had online records, but then they got taken down, so like the servers don't exist anymore. All of the history was lost, basically. So like the entire history of the run was lost. So you can't do a world record regression or a progression on something where it's all just lost media. And it's the same with the Minecraft parkour documentary thing that me and Nix wanted to make. It's all just lost media. All of the videos are gone. All of the information is lost. So you can't really do anything with it anymore. Like, they say everything on the internet is just like lasts forever or something. Like once you put it on the internet, it's never leaving. But that's not true. Like someone has to actually be there. It has the potential to never leave, but someone has to actually save it. Someone has to actually back it up. And if that doesn't happen, then it'll get lost. And even if someone does back it up, maybe it's just on someone's like hard drive somewhere, and you're never going to get it because you can't search for it. Like the internet has become progressively less searchable over time, especially with a lot of things being stored on platforms like Discord instead of forums, which, I mean, I like Discord. I like the kind of group chat nature of it, but it's unsearchable. You can't find things. If you want to find information on Trackmania, like the only way I get most of my Trackmania information is just from Discord friends telling me about it, right? But this video has rambled on long enough, and I guess, like, the one thing I want to say before I go is that, like, about the, like, 184 view video or whatever, it's, like, it's so weird. YouTube is so opaque. You have no idea, like, what you're actually trying to do, and there's plenty of people, like, be willing to tell you, oh, you do these 10 things, and then you get lots of views, and it's, like, every video is the same thing, and, like, phrased differently. But they're all worthless, right? Like, none of them are actually telling you how to make a better video, and I already think I know how to make a better video than the last one that I made, and I've known that every single video that I've made. I think I've been improving, but sometimes it just feels like YouTube is almost a kind of religion. All hail all praise to the algorithm, right? You just have to have faith that if you keep uploading, eventually people are going to care, right? And you know, like, the people cared about the bug report. Like, bug report was a fairly niche project, right? Like, if you're a Trackmania player, go watch the bug report video that I made. It's hilarious, in my opinion, at least. And people really like that one, and I like that a lot. Like, that's the one thing that's, like, I feel like it's most important to me, is, like, being able to have all the comments saying, like, whoa, really cool ding, or even the ones that just, like, say things that are really dumb, because, you know, it's kind of fun to, like, be like, haha, look at the comment, it's saying something wrong. But that was, like, the last two videos on the channel, the other channel, have gotten, like, what, like 8 comments total, something like that. So kind of sad, right? Like, you don't get to log into the YouTube Studio app on the phone and see, like, whoa, somebody new says something nice, right? Which is just kind of unfortunate, right? It's like, when literally nobody cares, and it's just, like, the only information that you have to go off of is, like, a number that 188 people watched it and 4 of them said something. It starts to feel like the video just doesn't exist, right? And, like, I don't think you need to have, like, a huge amount of views in order to have, like, a video that feels like it exists, right? Like, the bug report video got, like, what, 3,000 views? But that felt like it actually mattered to some amount of people, and, like, it became, like, kind of one of the Trackmania pop culture dings for a few weeks there, and people were, like, referencing it, and I thought that was super fun. But yeah, it's just, you just need to have faith that the religion of the YouTube algorithm, that it'll eventually somebody's gonna fucking notice and care. So that's all you can do. But I mean, like, on the one hand, like, I'm doing this because I want to do it, right? If I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't be doing it. And I think anybody who knows me would agree with that, right? Like, I'm not gonna do anything if I don't feel like doing it. But it's, like, part of why I'm doing it is not necessarily for, like, views, but it's more for recognition, you know? Like, I feel like that's what I really care about with a lot of these, like, internet projects and things, is, like, that's the external motivator for me, is, like, a recognition. Like, that's kind of the, I'm just hoping people will see the dings and they'll say, wow, I like these dings. But as I'm recording this, I'm saying dings more and more, so I know that my brain is starting to be unable to speak. And I think I'll end it there. So I'll probably make more of these follow-up videos for whenever I upload the next thing, but this one was kind of I guess a follow-up to most of my recent YouTube activities over the last year on that other channel, or I guess this one and that one. So the next one, it'll probably be a bit more focused. I originally was going to wait to record this and show some of the stuff in DaVinci Resolve, like all the crap that I had to do in order to get the things that show up on screen, because I suspect that most people don't really know how much nonsense there is going on in the editing software in order to even get things that like look nice but don't look like particularly amazing, like are in my last 2 videos. But well, goodbye. Classic abrupt ending.